Hey guys, in this video we will talk about affine mapping and how to recreate it in Blender with the help of geometry nodes and shader nodes. Because of hardware limitations, the PlayStation 1 used affine mapping, which interpolates your V coordinates by only using the X and Y component for each vertex. The depth or the Z component is completely ignored. And this causes these weird distortions on steep angles. Actually, we can observe the effect in Blender if we take, for example, a plane mapped in a 1x1 UV square, and if we take, for example, the top two vertices here and scale them down, you can see that Blender tries to interpolate these coordinates, which causes this distortion known as affine mapping. Okay, so how do we recreate this effect in a 3D scene? The first thing I need to mention is that I use Blender 4.2.1, so just make sure you use a recent version to have access to all the nodes. The first thing I need to do is I need to create a material for my mesh, in this case the default cube. It has a material already applied, I just simply name it Affine. Then I open up the shader editor, and in here I create an image texture, and I create a new one. For now I simply use a color grid, create it and connect it to the shader. Then I switch to the material view, and here we can see our cube with the texture. Now I need to credit this article here, which is written for Unity, and it gave me the idea on how to do this in Blender. I will link it below the video so you can read it yourself. But in essence what the author does is he stores the depth for each vertex and multiplies the UV coordinates in vertex stage of the shader, and then in the fragment stage of the shader he divides the UV coordinates by the depth, and this recreates the affine mapping. In Blender, to my knowledge, we can't do this effect in shaders directly because the vertex stage isn't separated as cleanly as in Unity from the fragment stage, but actually what the vertex stage does, we can do in geometry nodes. So let's open up a geometry node tree and create a new one for our default cube. And right here we need to store the depth and the scaled UV coordinates. So the first thing we need is the distance for each vertex to the camera. And for this we need two object info nodes, one for the object itself, so object info node and self object, and the second object info node is for the camera, and we can reference it with the active camera node. So now to get the distance we can use a vector math node, and here we set it to distance. And to get the distance between the vertex and the camera, we could use simply the position and the location of the camera. But this is a problem because the position here is an object space and we need to transform it to world space. And to do this, we can use a new node in Blender 4.2, and this is the transform point node. And with this we transform our position by the object's transform. And now this gives us the true distance. Okay, so now let's store the distance in our geometry with a store named attribute node. We need to store a single value, a float, like this. And we want to store it on the face corner node, which is really important when working with UV spaces. So I simply name this W. And now to scale the UV coordinates, we need to reference the cube's UVs. And we can do this with the named attribute. And if the object already has UVs, it should show up here. In this case, it is named UV map. And now we scale this with the distance we have here. And we can do this with a vector math node. And here we can set it to multiply, but scale would work also because the value we multiply it with is a single value. So let's take the UV attribute and multiply it with the distance. And now we store this value in another attribute, in this case a 2D vector. And here I name it simply scaled UV. And now these two attributes are stored in the vertices of our object. If we now go back in our shader, we can see that the image texture here has this coordinate input. And for this we would normally use like the texture coordinates and the UVs. But in our case, we have created the UVs in the geometry node tree, so we can reference it with the attribute. And here I have to type in the name of the scaled UVs. And now this is like the fragment shader in Unity. So we need to divide it by the depth. And we have also stored the depth in an attribute. It is called W. And if we take now a vector math node, set it to divide, and we divide the scaled UV by the depth and connect it to the vector input of our image, we should see the deformation. And we have to remember it is only visible correctly through the camera. So we have a look through the camera. If we take, for example, the walk navigation, we can navigate with WASD. And here you can see that the distortion happens nicely. And now some shameless self-promotion. You can skip this part of the video entirely if you want to, but maybe you want to support me or you want to have access to some other cool retro and PlayStation 1 effects. You can check out the Trips PSX effects add-on I've made for Blender. I put a link below the video and also a discount code for you. And it includes cool effects like affine mapping, or even screen space vertex snapping, which is really important for the PlayStation 1 aesthetic. And also other cool effects like distance or frustum culling and texture pixelation, shader-based fog, some filters and composition nodes, for example, an advanced scissoring node, and even vertex lighting nodes. So yeah, feel free to check it out. But yeah, you don't have to. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you've liked it. Maybe leave a thumbs up or a subscription. And see you next time.